What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf, your man in black. Let's get into it. So, this is about the P. Diddy sentencing verdict. So, unless the internet is wrong, and we know it never can be, um, 50 months? 50 months. Let's let's take a look at some of that. Comment section should be open, unlike my other channel. I know you guys want to tease me about that. Um, let's just share the screen, see what we dug up here. All right. Diddy verdict sentencing today. Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to 50 months in prison for his two convictions on counts of transportation, engaging in being a prosti. He received credit for time served since his arrest and was also fined more than 500,000. So here's the thing, guys. Like, first of all, 500,000 for a guy's billionaire status is nothing. Okay. So that's a joke. 50 months for the things he did to people, that is a joke. Now, most people would say, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm going to say, I hate both. Now, remember, all this is education, entertainment, satire, informational purposes only. But all I'm saying is, it just kind of seems funny if me or you would have, or you, me or you, would have done the same things that he did. I don't believe we would be getting the same amount of time. Now, we all know this is true because the system is a joke. Why is it a joke? Not that law itself is a joke, but the statutory lower level courts are definitely a joke. The federal court is where true law comes into play, but even that law can be manipulated because they're running our country like it's a game show slash Big Brother slash everybody has sex in the house. There's no repercussions, but there are reality TV show. Our president was on a reality TV show. Diddy's getting away with stuff that he should have had at least 11 years. I mean, if you follow the information, what he was convicted of, but we'll get to the good stuff. Just wait. There's more. He should have had 11 years. That was the maximum they could give him for what he was convicted of, and that is true. Let's look at the next piece here. No, let's finish this part off for the next thing. Why wasn't Diddy convicted on other things? Well, that has to do with the fact that now this is just entertainment, but from what I've been able to see and hear and listen to, learn, is that I consider this witness tampering myself. One, you've got a lot of people who are witnesses whose their names are made public and whatever else, which then they're going to fear for the rest of their lives that Diddy, somebody who does these things and far worse, that were not caught on camera, were not brought forward, people still scared, people he violated, men and women and children, et cetera, et cetera. So they didn't want to come forward. A lot of them didn't come forward, but bless the people who did come forward. But this also then was a slap in the face. Now, why? Why? I call it witness tampering because these people were afraid for their lives. They'd have to go into witness protection programs. So they were compromised right out of the gate. The guy's too famous, too powerful. But then throw in some of the other things I was hearing through the grapevine and certain other channels and whatever else, that the defense were sending communications out to the witness's family. That's witness tampering to me. Offering them gifts to their favorite charities. That is a indirect threat. That should be enough to say, you know what? We're giving you full 11 years. That's it, period. At least that would have gave people time to be like, okay, before he gets out, maybe we're going to move, maybe we're going to do some things. I get it. I've dealt with some high rollers my damn self. I deal with people and all. I deal with people in good things and then bad things. Okay, most of them all have a good, healthy respect for me. But understand this: at some point in time, you got to stand up to tyrants. And what this guy did was comical. He had his legal team's defense paying them to appear to be in his favor. Don't get me wrong, there are some people out there that are in his favor. I'm not knocking those people. If that's you believe he's not guilty on all these things and whatever, I'll say that's cool, great. But if you were paid, you are trash. You are trash, and you are what's wrong with this country. Now I get it. I'm also not mad though, because if you were hungry, literally hungry, you ain't eating, and they're like, "Hey, we'll pay you to come out here and dance and wear Diddy stuff and help promote." That's just essentially what the business world calls is good business. If you can do things like Diddy did and not get caught, or you have enough money to pay people to be in your favor, that is the American way. Do I like it? Do I think it's right or fair? No, not at all. But guess what? He got away with it. He didn't get away with it completely. But see, that's the difference between people like him and people like us, is the wealthy can make a mockery. Either if you're wealthy and you want to be a scumbag, this is your playground and you're the bully and we're all 4 years old. If you're a piece of shit for a person like my baby mama and you know how to play the system and you want to run to another state, but you know how to play the system, and then the law enforcement doesn't like the bad wolf because I help people to be free and to wake up and to hear the real truth, then the United States corporation is your playground. But see, really what law enforcement and the courts should have done is helped me, because then that might have made me be like, okay, I'm going to retire. But now that they want to play these games with an evil apple-headed biatch, then I guess now I'm going to go 10 times harder and make sure even more people get more information. And we're going to take this worldwide. And we're going to make sure that this channel, Badwolf Unrestricted, gets as popular or more as my other channel. How about that? We're going to keep dropping this knowledge. That being the case, what else do they have to say? So it says USA Today says Diddy sentencing live stream why court date won't be televised. Oh yeah, because they don't want everybody swarming it. And also, here's the thing, guys. When you're dealing with the real law, like the federal level, which is as close to the real law as we can possibly get other than the Supreme Court, because there's not many courts of equity left in the United States of America, they cannot and will not put anything live on the trial itself because that is the real law and it is private. So everything you guys see when they're showing you the all the footage of the people in these courtrooms, and some of them have been AI generated and green screened. That's because it's all entertainment. All that falls within the corporate jurisdiction of the corporate United States. UCC 9-307, letter H, location of the debtor, the District of Columbia. It can physically happen in California, but it's all done through the U.S. corporation, .coms, the zip code, and that all links back to wherever through the United States, which is registered in the District of Columbia, which is not American. They have their own laws, their own constitution, but they're in our family. They're in the American family, but they are in fact, if you guys had never heard this, the United States, meaning the corporation under 3002, is in fact a federal corporation. And it is foreign in relation to the United States of America. Those are two separate things. And anything relayed through that is then considered not truly American. So almost all these things that we see on here, you know what they're doing? It's entertainment. That's why you can see them. Oh, we're in the courtroom. Here's the picture of the perpetrator, even if it's a unaliving of somebody. It's because it falls underneath the U.S. corporation's jurisdiction, not American jurisdiction. Now, of course, the federal courts, like I said, though that is real law. Really, the Supreme Court is the ultimate law. It's the real law. The next closest best thing for all the parties to get together is the federal, which is as close to as American as you're going to get. But the word federal itself is not American. Essentially, they're a corporation, and all corporations are registered somewhere. District of Columbia, or through the state, then to the District of Columbia. But I digress. All I'm saying is the law will be on your side if you're a scumbag or you're rich. If you help people stand up for your rights like me, then they don't like you. If you're poor, they don't like you. And you're considered poor if you're not running with them and you're rich, period. So he got away with it, but he also got away with a whole lot more. Now, the funny thing here is that, like, if all the people he did things to would have came forward, just in this avenue of the law that he's being accused of, he would have had the book thrown at him. But people got scared. You don't think the people that just ratted on him for the things he did aren't scared? They're like, man, we got 50 months before we need to move out of this state. Because that's what they're gonna do. Guarantee you. Or they're gonna have to get some security, or some unofficial things are gonna have to take place on 50 months from right now and one day. But that also is, will he survive the next 50 months? Because just like he's powerful, guess what? He messed with some even more powerful people. Most of the people you guys ever see on TV or hear about, those aren't the most powerful people. Those are their handlers. Those are the people who look big to you and me, but there's always somebody more powerful. And he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He's also smashed some of the people the wrong way. There's all kind of stories of people telling what happened. Oh, I had this funny tasting drink. I woke up butt naked. My butt was sore. I had a drink and it was laced with something. I was in the middle of p.diddy and some other dudes. Yeah, none of those people, almost none of those people showed up. They were scared. Not mad at them. I get it. But if there ever was a time to take him down, that was it. However, I happen to have heard something. They got more dirt on Mr. Diddy, the Diddler. They got more dirt on him. So apparently, there are some people ready to come forward once this trial is done to go after him for some more stuff. And apparently, the feds have some more dirt on him, and other things that other charges they want to bring against him. Just what I heard. Some of which was on the internet, some of which, you might hear some things. So it ain't over. He may only have these 50 months. Let's see if he makes it those 50 months. Because I also heard some things along the lines of some former friends who he tried to bring down with him ain't too happy about that. So now he better watch out for who might be paying people to diddle him in certain ways. This was kind of like one of the best parts of when I like to call it the realm of hate. Me and my friends came up with this. We used to hang out at this one bar, and all the time these trash scumbag 304 Hoat. Yeah, you get it. Oh, James is into this, and so and into that, and Lex this, and so that. And you were like, okay, if we're the bad guys, which we can be, but in these events we weren't, then we'll remove ourselves from your premise, your vision, your view. How about that? So the moment we did, guess what? The realm of hate opened up underneath them, and then they all devoured themselves. See, they looked at us as the bad guys because we're trying to keep things good, cool, smooth, not even like perfect by no means. But the moment we left, their little den of snakes all turned on each other, and then their little crew fell apart. They had no mutual person to be mad at and to make an enemy. So then they turned on each other. So who really was the problem? So with Diddy, the Diddler, Sir D, the D Meister. You guys also know apparently what was it? Biggie, allegedly. Uh should I say it? Well, I guess we did say this channel is unrestricted, right? So from what I was able to determine on some other people's interviews on YouTube, apparently Diddy went down on yeah. And then you start listening to some of their lyrics and some of their songs, and they kind of start saying you start hearing some questionable stuff in their music lyrics. And you're like, wait a minute. Now, see, for me, I listen to that kind of stuff. So I knew that Diddy was off wrong sixes and sevens and the booty dazzler a long time ago. And don't forget, well, I'll say it. Don't forget, Diddy made most of his money off of the unaliving of Big Papa, Biggie Smalls. Hmm. Do did you guys know that these record labels take out insurances on their artists? Hmm. And most of these artists really don't make a whole lot of money, but the record company will front them some stuff to wear for a while or to use this or whatever else. It's kind of like McDonald's out here. You want to get a McDonald's, you have to rent the land from the location and the land from them. It's brilliant. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I've walked in the light and I've walked in the dark, so I see it. I see it all. Maybe not every single thing. I see a lot of it. So we're gonna keep it real G. That's why I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna give you guys the perspective that you guys aren't used to hearing, and I really don't give a rat's ass if you believe it or not. These are my experiences. I've been there. I've been in shady rooms where I felt uncomfortable. I've been in rooms and situations where I was like, I may not leave this place. I either better be smart or funny, and I'm both. So also what I heard was Diddy was also one of the people who put a contract out to his people and anybody for $1 million to take care of Tupac, who also, I believe, had insurance on him or had insurance on him through his record label. It's pretty brilliant having these artists promote gang, whole life, whole culture, wilding out, twerking at the red light, gutter stuff, and yet they have an insurance policy on you, hypothetically saying. And then you promote that music to the people who then start to, the lowbrow, unintelligent, no father because of music and promotions of that nature. Mother just doing her best and but still trying to be young. And then they get into trouble, and yet these places I've heard have money invested in the private prisons that they get arrested. That's kind of an interesting, if I was a businessman, that might be something I would do. So glad this is all hypothetical talk. I'm pretty sure no one's going to do any researching to, prove me wrong. Well, it's hypothetical anyway. So you're telling me that you've got record labels who then promote only specific types of music, keep the artist poor, have them promote only the music you want that is then catering directly and indirectly to a whole life, whole phase, whole summer, ghetto, G, pill popping, uh, lifestyle, popping out babies, no moral compass, destroying families, primarily those of color, and then get incarcerated. And then they may also make money on you being locked up for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years or more. That's a damn good investment. Ah, I'm sure that's not what's really going on. I'm just crazy. I'm just a madman in a box. I'm just a bad wolf. What do I know? But if you don't believe it, I can accept that. Maybe you should go out and prove it. Do some research. So, like all my videos, I'm just going to say this. I respect your perspective and your thoughts, and I will sometimes look at the comments and whatever else. But at the end of the day, like if you're not going to show proof for or against, that's a thing. Now, some people can say the same thing for me. Where's my proof that this is really what's going on? I didn't say I had proof. These are my thoughts. But if you want to negate what I'm saying, prove me wrong. Or don't. If you want, you can keep listening to their music and making them rich. How are those bills you're paying? Kicking in the ass? Spending your money in places where you should be saving it? You starve the beast, then you can feast. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, did he? See you in 50 months. Maybe.